Hey guys, sorry, I'm just trying to adjust my super official pen and moonshine jar tripod that I have just constructed because I still don't know where my tripod is because I didn't do any unpacking last night. I'm not quite sure what I did last night. I'd tell you if I remembered what I do in my days, but I don't ever remember. Anyways, I suppose I'm going to have to lift the camera because it's kind of big. So I made this project for someone in mind, and I probably won't get to send it to her for a couple months because even though, I've been in the middle of the woods and haven't been able to spend any money on craft supplies, I still, my money still seems to be draining in other ways. So, I have some commitments next month, so the month after I would like to send this to her. And I just started watching her videos, but she's just such a sweet woman, and, I just felt that urge to do something for her. So, anyways, what I made was a nightlight jar, majig, and, it's so big. It's gonna be really hard to film, and I'm gonna have to move the camera and make you feel like you're in the middle of an earthquake, unfortunately. Okay. So, that's what it looks like. And I'm pretty gosh darn happy with how it turned out. I had this bird in my Sterlite bin that I keep all of my garbage that I lovingly refer to as treasures and craft supplies. And it's been sitting there for a year. I have no clue where it came from. Usually when I have things that I have no clue where it came from, I usually blame the antique store that I used to go to quite often, because she would just give me bags of her garbage, and then I would throw them in a bin because I thought they were treasures. So that's probably where this bird came from, and it's actually a really beautiful bird. It has its imperfections, but you know what? I like her. She's peachy and cute. So, that's where the bird came from. It came from I don't know where. And then I told you guys it was a nightlight. But the person that I'm giving this to, she could use it as a nightlight, or because she's an adult, and adults don't really need nightlights, she could use it as like a storage container for stuff. For her treasures, So the nest that the bird is sitting in is actually a wreath. And it came from the Old Time 5 and Dime variety store. And the price tag on it said 20 cents, so it was probably like 10 cents that I paid for it some odd months ago, because she usually marks things down 50% from what the retail was. So, yeah, I love these wreaths. I'm gonna go back there and spend what little money I have remaining before it mysteriously disappears in other ways. And get some more wreaths and get some more little tiny gold birds. And because, they're so cute. I bought them to use to decorate as little wreaths, but you know what? They look like little nests, and so that's what I used them for. And then I used my moss again because, it's uber expensive, collecting it outside. I pay a lot of money for it. And I actually wanted to use, I think it's called sphagnum moss. It's the brown ugly moss that, looks like little spaghetti strands, dead, dried up spaghetti wormy strands. It's kind of like brownish gray. Anyways, I wanted to use that moss, but Apparently I still don't have 100% of my craft supplies here because the rest of my mosses are at home. So, you know, I ended up using Old Man's Beard moss again, which is, it's fine. You know, I've got this whole Ziploc bag here full of it. And I've got several large branches out, actually right in front of the door, that Mother Nature generously blew down for me to harvest and use for crafting. And so I ended up using that moss because that's the only moss I have. And then, sorry, the camera was probably really shaky there because I wasn't paying attention. And then, these little pink flowers were from, you know, the scraggly flower bunches that Shay gave me. And then this, this fabric here, which, after I had brought everything to the table, I wasn't 100% sold that the fabric would go with the bird. But I really wanted to use the fabric, and I really wanted to use the bird. And quite frankly, I didn't have anything else to substitute either one with. So, this is actually a lace. And, I found it, guess where, in the garage. And I almost packed it away until my mother's like, oh, that's a lace. And then I actually looked at it and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a lace. And it's actually a flocked lace. So this lace has flocking on it. And it's absolutely gorgeous and fuzzy and furry. And it's fun to pet. So, yeah, I wanted to use it. I've got a good decent amount of it. And it just looks pretty. And it doesn't exactly match the bird, but you know what? That's okay. Because I said so. So, when I put the fabric on with the little rubber band that I found, I went around the edges with super glue. I just love this super glue. It's amazing. I don't glue my fingers together. My E6000 is still packed away in a box somewhere, so I used this and it worked out really nice. And then I tied it with some, not that the super glue would ever fail, but, you know, just because I like things to be super duper duper sturdy. I tied it with some twine. And this came from the Dollar Tree. I think I just said that. And then I wrapped this, where is it? I wrapped this fibrous yarn around it. Not that you'll really be able to see it. Around the ugly twine so that, you know, just to hide it, and it kind of matched in with the fabric. My mother's been giving me a lot of her, you know, like specialty yarns. Basically all of the specialty yarns that aren't like 4-ply yarn, because she can't crochet with it anymore apparently. So I've been reaping the benefits and getting all these awesome fibers, and so yeah, that's what I wrapped around it. And I actually made a Gatsby flower that with it, because I was going to put that on the jar, you know, when I was designing my jar, and it came out looking kind of like a hairball, but you know, I think it's a really beautifully colored hairball with lots of vibrant yellows and oranges, with a beautiful misshapen red button. So I'll probably fill this nightlight with handmade flowers, including this beautifully colored hairball. Because I was going to have a front to this jar, but unlike my seashell one that I did, you know, the bird needs to be facing towards the front. And when you're screwing on a lid, that's easier said than done. So I realized that the jar itself couldn't have a front, because whatever the way the jar lid screwed on, that was going to be the front. So I was going to go something like that. I was thinking about making a smaller one for the front. Anyways, funny story with this, with putting down the nest. I started to use this little trusty, what is it, like $3 hot glue gun that you can buy at Walmart that everybody seems to hate, but you know, it's been the only one I've ever used, and it's been a couple years, and you know, it spits out glue really slowly, and it sometimes drips, which I have a feeling has to do with some of the brands of glue sticks that I have. But I realized that because the spit out the glue so slow, I couldn't dispense enough glue around the nest to, you know, stick it to the jar lid. And, so, this is really funny. At least I thought it was funny. I was having myself a good laugh. So I pulled out this bad boy that I got paper towels stuck to. It's a really disgusting old glue gun that, you know, I used to, back when there used to be a lot more stuff on Craigslist, I used to buy these huge lots of stuff on Craigslist, you know, of craft supplies, and that's where I'd get a lot of my stuff before I, you know, had amazing friends who gave me a lot of stuff. And I ended up keeping this disgusting glue gun because I don't throw anything away, and even if it's not beautiful, I figured it was still functional, and I've had it for about a year. I've never used it. I had a feeling that this thing would, you know, dispense out a lot of glue pretty fast, so I plugged it in, and oh my goodness, it got boiling hot. I'm surprised the glue wasn't freaking boiling out of this gun. And, you know, this is a low temp glue gun, so I can, you know, shove my finger into the glue to press something down, and I've got asbestos fingers, so it doesn't really bother me. But this one, I was, you know, just my hand getting close to the gun, it was like, oh my goodness. So the first time I pulled the trigger on it, you know, to dispense the glue, it just shot out like a freaking squirt gun. And it took forever for that glue to cool down. I will only use this gun if I have to adhere something down like a nest, you know, where I've got a large surface to cover, and, you know, I've got to dispense a large amount of glue before, you know, one part of it cools down, you know. But it was interesting and funny. But anyways, that's my my nightlight jar slash throw random stuff in jar. It's got a nightlight in there, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And you know, I love nature. I keep wanting to do shabby chic stuff, but I keep leaning towards more nature-y stuff. I think it's because it's cheaper, because I can, you know, go outside my door and pick up, you know, highly desirable sticks and strands of moss. So, yeah, I think she turned out really cute, though. And I hope the person I made this for likes her. I'm still not quite aware of her crafting style and what exactly she likes, but I have a feeling she'd like it. So, one more good look. And I sprayed it with glimmer mist. So that's it. I appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully this video wasn't too horribly shaky. I have a feeling it's going to be way more shaky than it looks. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.